The characters are aging faster than we're getting answers, but at least now Miranda is confirmed to be Tabitha. So formally, let's just dive into episode 9 because there's a lot to break down. But first, give the video a thumbs up if you think Ellis should kick Elgin's ass. Because if Elgin took my wife, it would have been season 5 before they finally got me off of him. The episode starts with Elgin trying to get Fatima to drink the Kool-Aid, both literally by getting her to actually drink his blood, but also figuratively by having her believe that the baby is not evil. You see, Elgin believes in the signs and dreams that he's been having are trying to actually help the town, but we all know better than that. The town is manipulating him just like it manipulated Sarah, and just like it continues to manipulate all the other characters. So Elgin thinks that if Fatima gives birth to this baby, it'll help them get out of here. He thinks the baby's trying to help because in season 2, the night that Elgin figured out the dreamscape is also the same night that Fatima confirmed that she was pregnant. But what I think we need to look at is season 2, episode 6. The night that Ellis was stabbed by Dell, which is the same night that Boyd said this to the monster.
My blood is your blood now, motherfucker.
That night is the same night that Fatima asked Christy for the pregnancy test because she felt that she was pregnant. It's very interesting, and I don't think it's coincidental that that's the same night Boyd said that statement to Smiley. The night that one of the monsters died is also the night that another one is getting reincarnated, tying into the reincarnation theme that Miranda and Tabitha have going on, which also made Fatima the perfect candidate for the town because of what she represented to everybody. Because everyone in town has a positive image of Fatima, and she low-key is the symbol of hope for the town, which explains why the baby made her kill Tilly. By making Fatima kill Tilly, it essentially makes her a murderer and the town will ostracize her, which will cause them to lose hope. Everything Fromville does, it revolves around feeding on the hope of the town, which could be why Fatima found that secret door in the ground, giving her a false hope that she could escape. But I wonder what exactly is down there. That adds a whole new element of mystery to the show. I'm curious if we're going to see more about it next episode, because Fatima is not leaving this cellar no time soon. Elgin told her she's not a prisoner, while he literally keeps her in prison, which goes to show just how far gone Elgin is. He can't grasp the fact that he's keeping her against her will. Elgin has to ask himself, if this thing I'm doing was so right and righteous, why is it that I have to keep it a secret from everybody else? And it's not just Elgin holding her back. The lady in the kimono actually held her down and kept her quiet from Tabitha and Victor hearing her. Speaking of Tabitha, I think our theory was correct. Tabitha is Miranda. Throughout the season, we've been getting small hints that Tabitha could be Miranda, but this all but confirms it. We saw when Victor touched her earlier in the episode, she felt a certain sensation. Even Sarah noticed the energy shift when Tabitha touched Victor, which ties into her getting involved again. Sarah started hearing voices after not hearing voices since the first season, which I think ties directly into that little porcelain memento that she finally fixed, the memento her brother left her. The moment she finished fixing it, it's fixed, but it's different. It's just like the boy in white said later in the episode to Victor, everything's different now. The town is moving differently than it ever did before, and it could be because this iteration of the town folk are actually getting closer and closer to solving the mystery and saving the children, which is also causing the children to behave differently. That's why they're manifesting in broad daylight and having Tabitha follow them, and they wanted Tabitha to find Fatima. The children seem to be diametrically opposed to having whatever Fatima is giving birth to be born. And I think because whatever's being created by Fatima is pure evil, and Elgin just can't see it, which makes it worse. That's why when Tabitha follows the Ankui kid, and even when she was walking into the root cellar, just by touching the door, she's getting more in tune with the memories of her past life. And as her connection with Victor grew stronger, her connection to Miranda grew even stronger, and those memories started flooding in her. And it was during that final hug with Victor, all of it came flooding back. The memories of Miranda, the night of the root cellar, how she ran out, and how Miranda died. There's two possible theories though. Before focusing too much on her being Miranda, I do want to take a second to talk about the possibility that she may be Eloise as well, Victor's sister. Eloise was there that night when Miranda was in the root cellar. And don't forget, when Victor stayed, Eloise went outside. So what could have happened was Eloise could have watched her mother die, and before the monster got Eloise, she went into the faraway tree and she ended up in the real world. And that's how Tabitha ended up growing up in the real world, away from Victor in Fromsville. And it kind of lines up with the fact that when Tabitha went through the faraway tree in season 2, she ended up in the real world as well. So maybe Tabitha is one of the few people who can travel in and out between the two worlds. That's another theory I just want to acknowledge, but I do think she is Miranda. And it's interesting how her memories came back when she was close to finding Fatima. It's like the town triggered the memory to keep her away from finding Fatima, while the lady in the kimono was keeping her down, which shows a direct contrast between the town and the Ankui kids, because the Ankui kids are actively trying to help Tabitha. One of them even led her to the root cellar, and everything is different. Everyone is acting different. The boy in white is different. He's grown now. He's hitting puberty. This episode saw Victor continuing to spiral to the point where he was about to chop down the faraway bottle tree. The boy in white showed up looking completely different. Not just looking different, but his entire demeanor was different. He was a lot more menacing, a lot more, I don't know if evil is the right word, but a lot more evil and menacing looking, as opposed to how nice he was earlier in the season. This change is super drastic. In season 3, episode 1, he was still a nice young little boy. And now by the time we're in episode 9, he's grown so much and he's even more menacing to the point where he's actively not helping the townfolk escape. And we find out that the boy in white gave up hope on humanity. Because Christopher didn't follow his advice and help him, he decided not to help anybody, and that's why the slaughters kept going on. But now that Tabitha's back as Miranda, everything is moving differently. The boy in white is grown, the Ankui kids are moving different. And what's even more interesting about the bottle tree dynamic is Jade was making his own bottle tree. But right before Jade can complete it, he saw a vision of Christopher and Jasper. But that's not what's important to me. Even though Jasper and Christopher still have a role to play, I believe, it's the fact that they came right around the same time that Henry, Victor's dad, showed up. Victor's dad stopped him from completing the bottle tree. If you guys remember the theories from my past few videos where I said hit the subscribe button, but also Henry could be evil, every time the bottle trees come up, he's always around. The fact that he installed himself at the bar near Jade's research, and now when Jade is away from everybody else, minding his own business, creating the bottle tree, he shows up and now he needs Jade's help. But all that really does is pull Jade away from his research, doesn't finish the bottle tree, because I think Jade is creating his own bottle tree and he may be able to travel. And that's what's starting to make things move differently. Jade is getting closer than anybody ever did. Christopher never went to the bottle tree, but Jade is making his own, which is causing the town to accelerate its plans, because not only is the town affecting Elgin and Tabitha this episode, it's also affecting Randall. We don't know exactly what the cicadas are, but what we do know is the monsters let Randall go for a reason, and I'm not over that yet. I think they're leaving Randall as a sleeper agent to disturb the peace. The town also reactivated its deadliest sleeper agent, Sarah. It was being heavily affected by the town this episode. The town hasn't spoken to her since season 1, but now it's back, but only to tease and taunt them. The same way was taunting Jim and Ethan by faking to be Thomas, but it's not working, because instead of the town giving up, Boyd actually galvanizes the town. Him and Donna realizing how important Fatima is, they can't tarnish her image. So instead of telling everybody that Fatima killed Tilly, they rallied everybody to go look for her instead. And everyone broke off in groups of 2, which allowed Jim to actually bond with Ethan, allowed Tabitha to bond with Julie, showing that the Matthews family, even though they have their rifts, they're kind of coming together. Kenny and Boyd squashed their beef. Heck, even Donna and Acosta came to an accord. I do think the more people open up to Acosta, she's going to be put in a position of authority. Despite the fact that she came to town with a bang, I do feel like people feel more trustworthy of her because she's a police officer, so that can position her for a position of power. It was during this time that I think Ellis figured out that Elgin is behind Fatima's disappearance, because Elgin is just moving weird. For a kidnapper, Elgin doesn't know how to shut up. But I think he's so delusional that he truly believes deep in his heart that he's doing the right thing. So even though he's not supposed to tell Ellis that he has Fatima, he's kind of letting Ellis know she'll be all right, kind of pointing fingers to him. So I know Ellis is going to have to deal with Elgin next episode. I think this is the eye of the hurricane, the calm before the storm. Because even though they didn't find Fatima, everything seems to be going too smoothly. And Frumsville, one thing I know about Frumsville, it doesn't like that. And I truly believe that the creature is coming out. The creature that's in the settlement will be out next episode. The creatures can't come out during the daytime, so I feel like they need something to start causing havoc. The kimono lady has her hands full holding down Fatima, and none of the old tricks of the town are working. Jim is ignoring Thomas. Sarah's not going crazy killing people. And the town is working together. I feel like Ellis did figure out that Elgin is behind Fatima's disappearance, and Kenny has Boyd's back again. So that just feels like a recipe for disaster. And the fact that it's gonna be the season finale next week, I believe it's about to be a crazy finale. But guys, let me know what you think is about to happen in the season finale in the comment section below. And if you like From, check out my videos on Silo. It's another super cool mystery show, and I think you'll really enjoy it if you really enjoyed From. But guys, that's it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, peace.